They thought they could waltz onto my property and mark it as theirs, but when I showed up with my shotgun, their survey ended real quick. It started early one morning when I heard the sound of voices and metal stakes being hammered into the ground. At first, I thought maybe it was road work or utility crews, but when I stepped out onto my porch, I saw a group of men in neon vests pacing across my pasture with measuring tapes and clipboards. They weren't just passing through, they were driving stakes directly into my land. I marched over and asked, "What the hell do you think you're doing?" One of them, trying to act official, said, "We're surveying this property for future HOA-approved development. This land will be reassigned to the community." I nearly laughed in his face. "This is my land. Been in my family for 3 generations. You've got no right to be here." The men exchanged nervous glances, but one of them muttered, "We've got authorization from the board." That's when I noticed Karen herself, sitting smugly in a folding chair at the edge of the property, sipping her iced coffee like she owned the place. I'd dealt with her nonsense before, endless fines, threats, and letters, but this time she'd gone too far. I told the surveyors once, firmly, to leave. They didn't move. Instead, one bent down to hammer another stake into the soil. That was it. I walked back to my porch, grabbed my 12-gauge shotgun, and slung it over my shoulder. I didn't aim it at anyone, didn't even take the safety off. I just let it rest in my hands as I stepped back onto the grass. The reaction was instant. One surveyor dropped his clipboard, another froze mid-step, and the third stammered, "What, we didn't know you were armed." I looked him square in the eyes. "You knew you were trespassing. Now get the hell off my land." Karen's smug smile cracked when her crew scattered, running faster than they had walked in. She shouted after them, "Don't you dare quit!" But none of them stopped. Later that day, I got a visit from the sheriff. Turns out Karen had tried to report me, but when I showed him the deed to my property and explained what happened, he just shook his head and said, "You were within your rights." Karen thought she could steal my land with tape measures and intimidation. Instead, she learned that some fences can't be moved, and some men don't back down.
I am Liam, and trust me, the next HOA story is even worse. Subscribe now.